Lick number one is a classic major seventh lick on a C major chord based on the C major seventh arpeggio. I'm sure you've heard this one thousands of times on many of the great classic jazz guitar recordings. So let's give it a shot.
1, 2, 3.
This is a classic major seven lick that all the greats have used. The concept is outlining the major seventh arpeggio. I suggest you learn this lick in the major seventh arpeggio in other positions on the fingerboard. And when we end the pattern, we just end it with a little scalar figure, making a nice ending to the riff. Should practice it slow, making sure every note is clean. And in a swing groove, you can use a dotted eighth quarter pattern as opposed to a straight eighth pattern. So, once again, it's a classic major seven riff using the major seventh arpeggio, ending with a little scalar pattern ending on the major seventh. Lick number two I learned from the great Barney Kessel, and he adapted it from a Charlie Parker lick. Let's give it a try. It's in C major, and it's a great one.
1, 2, 3.
This is a classic bebop style lick that I learned from a great tenor saxophone player named Billy Mitchell. What I like about it is you stay within the fifth of the major chord. Use a little scale and then a little chromaticism up to the third, using the major sixth arpeggio, again staying within the realms of the fifth. Then this classic bebop lick that was used by many, many great guitarists, ending on the ninth. Has a nice flow to it. Within the fifths, a little chromaticism, using the sixth in there, which is very good on major chords. And that's about it. Lick number three, I first heard Joe Pass play on a recording, and since then I've heard many of the guitarists use it. It's in C major, it's a major lick starting on the major ninth or D. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
A classic guitar major riff, using starting on the ninth and pulling off down to the major seventh, a scalar pattern, and then a hammer on and pull off. I suggest you practice this, those little pull offs, in a succession pattern to get used to how that feels. Same with that, using your third and fourth finger on a pull-off. It's a little tricky, but this is a riff that was used by all the classic great guitar players like Tony Mottola, Bucky Pizzarelli. They all used it, and I think it's an important one to put in your toolbox for the next jam. Lick number four I love because it's simple and effective. It's a major riff on a C major chord based on a C major 7th arpeggio descending, and it's one you need to add to your toolbox right away. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
This is one of my personal favorite classic guitar licks, and it's a descending major 7th arpeggio, basically, repeating the first 2 notes. I love the sound of the major 7th arpeggio, and I love the descending major 7th arpeggio, and especially ending on the major 7th, this riff. I suggest you learn this one in all your positions. And mainly get used to that sound of the major 7th. Neat little thing to do also is to put a little trill at the end. A classic sound. Lick number 5 is an F major and a bossa nova groove. It's in a scalar pattern, meaning a scale playing the F scale, making a melodic statement. Here's one I heard on a Herb Ellis record that he played, and we're going to add it to our repertoire of licks.
1, 2, 3.
Here's a classic riff using a scalar pattern, starting on the 9th or the G, working back and then forward, and ending with a nice little D to C, the 6th to the 5th. It's a classic riff that you should know and bring to your next jam. You should learn it in all your positions, like every other riff. I love the sound of the 5th. So let's bring out that 5th when we're playing the riff. Could even add a little vibrato at the end, a little expression. Lick number 6 is an F major on the bossa nova groove, and it's based on a scalar pattern. Joe Pass loved to use these patterns in his solos and melodic statements. It's a great way to start a solo, this lick. Great way to start it. So let's learn it. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
This is another must-know lick. It starts on the 5th and uses a scalar pattern. We've all practiced our scale patterns. There's a scalar pattern. Now we're putting it into music. A must-know riff. Over the F major 7th, starting on the 5th. Taking that little scalar pattern and ending on the major 7th note, which is always a great note to end on a major chord. Other positions, other fingerings. Very important. Try it on one string. Lick number 7 is what I call a hybrid lick, mixing a scalar pattern and an arpeggio. Starting on the 5th, which is one of my favorite tones to start a phrase on, this is a great way to start a solo. So let's learn it.
1, 2, 3.
This is a great riff to use over the bossa nova groove. Starts on the fifth again. I love that fifth, especially as a starting point. Using a little scalar pattern, little interval jump, back down to the root, up the arpeggio, major seventh, and ending with a sixth and a third. Another good one to learn in all your positions. Look forward to that major seventh note. Then your ending note on the third. So you're starting on the fifth, looking forward to the major seventh. Lick number 8, an F major bossa nova groove, is a great way to end a phrase in a solo. You've probably heard many great guitarists end phrases with this riff. You can try combining lick 7 and lick 8 to make a complete 4-bar phrase. Now let's learn lick number 8.
1, 2, 3.
This is another essential lick that you must add to your toolbox of licks. It's kind of a hybrid between using a scale and then an arpeggio. And ending on the third. Very effective in a bossa nova and a must learn lick in my opinion. And like all the other licks, you must learn them in other positions, so when you hear this lick and want to add it in, your fingerboard knowledge doesn't get in the way. Not knowing enough about the fingerboard can really kind of screw up your thinking when you're hearing this lick and you want to play it and your hands don't know where to go. So learn it in all your positions. Once again, very peaceful sounding ending to the riff too.